Iafrate and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
So what is up? So glad to be with you. Do I look at this camera? Is that how it works? Is it the middle camera now?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one on the ground?
Sure.
Thank you. It's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
My name is Sean Baligian. It's a pleasure. To be with you. No, all jokes aside, it's great to be here at Woodward Sports. It's great to be with Jeff, who was an intern when he first came here, and it's great to see him blossom the way he has. Dude, like, all jokes aside, I'm fired up for you.
Thank you.
No, it's great. It's great to see. I'm saying, Maz. We're like old dudes, right?
Yeah. I'm older.
There's Tom Mazawey, by the way. No, it's great. It's great. I love seeing the young guys get their reps and like blossom in front of our very eyes.
Hell yeah, man. These guys have done a great job. I told them that you'd be all proud of them, and here you are, right back where you belong.
Isn't
with
that?
us.
No, you know what? I had a great year here. There's no doubt about that. Working with Joik and Art and Kennedy, and I was a little disappointed, and I mean no disrespect to Sam. I wanted to see Fish today.
Yeah.
I'm really hurt that he's not in the fishbowl today.
Yep, he had to get home. I think he had some soccer game in Europe to watch. But he said Thursday when you're coming back, he'll be here.
Good.
He's watching cricket.
That's exactly what it is. So, no, seriously, great to be here. Chad's an old friend of mine. Shout out to Chad. Thanks to Ryan and Braylon for letting us sit in as well.
Yeah.
We got a lot to get to today. I mean, that's the cool thing. And for Ryan and Braylon, you may have noticed this already. To honor both of them, I wore a special cap today.
Oh, no.
And Maz, as a matter of fact, is there any way we can turn around and look at Maz's microphone? Can we look at that? That's just for Braylon and Ryan today.
Where's my maze? Where's my maze? How did I get this green? It's Woodward green, though.
Yes, it is Woodward
It's Woodward green.
Lots to get into, though. Obviously, football season starting up. Lions. I want to get this off my chest right now before I have to have an I told you so segment.
Absolutely.
I hope you guys will forgive me. And when I say I told you so, there are a lot of you that were very mean to me about a year ago about some things. Okay? Hurt my heart.
Just a year ago?
Hurt my heart. I'm not going to lie. Hurt my heart. So we need to go over some of these things. I need to get this off my chest, okay? And before somebody says, I can't believe you're drinking the Kool-Aid and eating the cornbread and all that stuff, listen to me. If you're one of those people that you find yourself being angry over what happened in the last 5 minutes of the Lions game on Friday, you need some help. You really do. You need some help. It is an exhibition game, and the guys on the field are a bunch of guys that won't be on the roster in a couple weeks.
Right.
We'll have plenty of time to react and overreact and pound if we need to this year. We will. I promise you. You know we will. But if you're looking to do it over what happened last Friday, man, you're just looking for it, aren't you? I mean, man, I don't know what your feelings are.
No, that's a laugher. Matter of fact, I was in my car when David Blau fumbled, actually. I listened to Dan Miller just a second prior to that saying, if all David Blau's got to do is hold on to the ball, and the Lions will win the game. Fumble! Atlanta's got it. And it was, I laughed. Same old Lions. But it's preseason. Come on.
Jeff,
it's a joke.
Honestly, and we'll get into it in a second, I don't expect the giant leap that a lot of people do this year, but I'm not going to hang them for things that happen in the last few minutes of a game. They'll give me plenty of other reason.
Yep.
But Friday night was not one of those moments.
No. For me, it was looking at the starters, and you saw what happened when Jared Goff was in the game to start. They got down, they were efficient, they scored. That's all I was concerned about, Sean. And like you said, you're looking at guys that can make the roster. Tom Kennedy, a guy that might not even see playing time this year,
that's
looks
my
pretty
guy.
good. That's your guy, Maz. But again, it's looking at just getting a chance to watch football. That's all I took out of it.
All right, can I throw this out there because I know everybody's going nuts about Tom Kennedy right now.
Well, he is the league leader.
Yes.
And please put that up. Fletch, please put that up for Sean. Look at that, Sean. Read that. Go ahead.
That's Tom Kennedy. He's just dependable.
There you go.
All right, can I throw this out there, though?
Yeah.
Deep breath. David Kirkus.
Oh,
Circus Kirkus.
the circus.
Am I showing my age by throwing his name out there?
Almont, Michigan.
I'm kind of looking at Iafrate right now, and he's going, who? Who are you talking about?
Grand Valley State,
do you remember?
Jeff.
Do you remember? Do you have any? What was that? 05? Was that
No.
05, Maz?
Yeah,
04,
yeah,
05?
yeah,
One of
that's
those
early,
years.
early aughts.
Scotty Anderson, who was going to be the next big thing.
I do remember Scotty Anderson.
Are we putting the jinx on him?
Oh no.
Are we putting the jinx
No,
on?
Tom Kennedy's he's
Is there legitimacy there?
Yes, he's legitimate. He's a special teamer and a pretty damn dependable fifth guy when you need him.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm asking. All right,
Yeah.
so this is a guy that you expect he's going to make the roster.
I do believe it.
Going to be a fifth guy. He's actually going to show us something
Right.
once the season starts. Okay. I'm not going to yell at you. The thing that I worry about, this town, we have a tendency of putting guys like that on a pedestal and worshiping them. We do.
Bill Schrader?
Unsung heroes.
He just makes plays. Remember, that was
Bill Schrader.
the famous quote. Bill Schrader, Hakeem is a playmaker.
No doubt.
Those are but we do. Let's all admit it. We take guys that maybe a little rough around the edge, and we put them on a pedestal that, quite frankly, they don't deserve to be on.
You know, it's a funny story too. Last year, Trinity Benson played well in the preseason.
That's a great one.
Lions traded 5th-round pick for him.
Yes.
What happened? Where's Trinity Benson at?
Listen, can
I'll leave it to you guys.
now before I tell you I told you so about a few things?
Yeah.
Can I? You know who I really missed on, and I'm going to call myself
Tease Tabor?
Deshaun Hand.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
honest to goodness, I thought Deshaun Hand. I'm not saying Pro Bowler, much like you were saying, Maz. You're not putting your boy
Tom Kennedy.
Tom Kennedy. I can't.
Sounds
say
like a
it.
game show
I know.
host.
I can't.
He
say-
was a game show host
Didn't he-
back in my day. Tom Kennedy.
Didn't he do the movie show? Bill Kennedy. Sorry, Tom Kennedy.
Tom
Bill
Kennedy, the host of
Longtime
Split
Detroiters
Second.
out
Go
there.
ahead.
No, you're not putting him in the Hall of Fame. You're not saying that he's even going to be in the top 3. I wasn't putting Deshaun Hand in the Hall of Fame. I really thought that Deshaun Hand was going to be an interchangeable force on the defensive line.
Me too.
And it just never happened. And I love the guy personally. Like, I had some, conversations, some one-on-one with him, and I was like, okay, this is the type of guy that this city's going to fall in love with. And it just never happened. And he's still kind of languishing, right? Isn't he?
Yeah. I think he's on a Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, he's with Tennessee. He's kind of languishing with Tennessee right now.
But to your point, the optics look good. The player looks good. Physically, he looks good. But things just don't work out. That's why Tom Kennedy, there's a roster spot for him in the NFL. Let's get that straight. I think he's good enough to be on a roster. But with the Lions and how deep their wide receiver core, it's going to be tough. Maybe a practice squad. Who knows?
I think there'll be some trades, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I think
Could
there
be.
will be some trades.
Could be.
Can we be honest? And I know people didn't want to hear this a year ago, but I said it, and to my former partner's credit, a shout out to Joik Bell. What up, Joik? Joik said it as well. Nobody wanted to admit it a year ago, but I think a year later, it's easier to. The Lions last year tanked without telling everybody they tanked. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh, yeah, they stripped them down.
Yeah, all the injuries, they were taking.
Last year was a tank without them verbally telling people, okay, we're going to. And you know what? I said this a year ago, and I'll say it, I was okay with it. I was okay with it. And you know why I was okay with it? Because for the first time in my lifetime, I think we've got a general manager in here who is playing chess. He's not looking at the next move. He's looking at 2 or 3 moves forward. Mm-hmm. He's sitting back going, okay, I'm playing chess right now against Maz. Maz's next move is this. My next move is going to be a counter move to his move. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. And I'm going to be okay when, not if, this team wins 7 games this year. I'm going to be okay with it. It's okay. Because what he's done in the process is he's gotten those extra draft picks, and so far those draft picks look okay. It's too early to write them off or write them in. Let's all agree. And they're looking at 2023, and I'm really okay with that.
So you're saying 7 wins
Yes.
is a winning season for you?
For me, because you're going to get yourself a good pick and the Rams pick, and you give yourself some flexibility. you can use those picks. Maybe a quarterback slides down. Or if need be, if there's a guy that you really love, because that's the one thing that we don't know year to year. We don't know what their scouting department likes. Mm-hmm. For all the talk, and I've been a part of it, doing draft shows, and Maz, I know you were a part of it with our boy Scott Bischoff. The one thing that we always say is, I don't know what the scouting department thinks, the Detroit Lions scouting department thinks. So to that point, if there's a guy that they fall in love with that might go at 3, maybe you're in a position to pair some picks and go grab that guy. That's the great unknown when we're talking about the draft.
So let me ask you this, guys.
Yes,
and I'll throw it to you, Sean, because I probably have asked Jeff this already. Roquan Smith is out there. Mm-hmm. Would you trade your second pick for him? Because the Bears probably would do it for the number 1 pick.
They need him. They do need number ones.
A quarterback of the defense.
Mm-hmm. But then you got to pay him too, Sean.
Yeah, you got to pay him as
well. That comes with the contract.
So what? He's in his 5th year.
$20 million annually.
No. Mm-mm. If we're playing the long game, no.
Well, you are.
Yeah, but to me, it's
you want to draft a Roquan Smith, don't you?
Yes,
and that's true.
But there he is.
That's a good point. I still wouldn't, only because I think 23 is going to be a year, and I said this last year for the record, and I hope people out there will remember this. I think 23 is the year where they start to show people, okay, we're legitimate now. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they're going to go win anything. I'm not writing any checks or printing playoff tickets or anything like that. But to me, I was almost amazed that people couldn't see this was going to be a 2-year process. Does that music mean we have to break?
Oh, it does.
Boy, have you guys changed around here. You guys are legitimate around here.
We got flannel Sam in there.
Well, before
dropping the tracks.
Before, if you remember, Kennedy or Art would be yelling at me, break, and I'd be seeing the hands like that and everything. Now I got music in my ear. That's pretty cool.
You can still keep talking, though.
All right, we'll keep talking right now, and then maybe he can make the break sign when it really is time for me to break or something like that. No, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Lions and revisit some of the things. Because, listen, all jokes aside, people killed me last year. A lot of people out there killed me because I didn't have hope in the Lions in 2021. But my reason was, and still is, this is the long game. We'll get into that when we come back. He's Jeff Iafrate. I'm Sean Baligian. Maz, of course, always in the house on Woodward Sports.
But first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Let me tell you about our friends from Gypsy Vodka. The Mulligan, by the way, the official summer drink of the summer. The Mulligan made with Gypsy Vodka. When you're out on the golf course, you're hanging in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or at a Total Wine near you.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Academy of Warren is currently rolling for kindergarten through 8th grade. It features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. Speaking of athletics, Academy of Warren features a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house. Yes, brand new. That has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net. That is academyofwarren.net.
Hi, how are you?
I love it.
Glad you could join us. Jeff Iafrate, Tom Mazawey, I'm Sean Baligian, sitting in for Braylon and Ryan right now. Hope everything is great with the boys, to be sure. Really happy to be talking to this guy. Jeff, like I was saying, gosh, I sound like such a grandpa, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's really cool to watch you guys like grow in front of my eyes. Like, seriously. Yeah. Come in for being the bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, guys like, golly gee, I can't wait to be I'm in the sports media.
That was me.
To becoming the jaded old people that now Maz and I are. Yeah. So it's
Get off my lawn.
You kind of sounded like Summer out there. Hank, I think I've got someone on my lawn. Going a little Jack Buck. But you know what? A guy that very early on, I think a lot of us saw the potential in this guy. And he was on our show a lot. And when I say our show, just a reminder, Joyke Bell and I, many moons ago, did a show together on this network. Kory with a K is what I affectionately called him. Mm-hmm. Has really, really done a good job making a name for himself, covering the Lions for Woodward Sports. And his stuff, if you've missed it, on Twitter and YouTube and everything. I'm not trying to make him blush. I'm really proud of this guy. I'm really, really proud of this guy. And I hope he doesn't mind me still referring to him as Kory with a K. Make sure you follow him on Twitter.
Oh, it's all good. It's definitely all good.
Kindly joining us right now. What is up, my man? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. Oh, back in the old chair, too.
I know. And you know what? This chair still sucks. I mean, this is still the worst chair I've ever sat in. So some things don't change. Hey, first and foremost, before we talk to you about some stuff, Lions, Colts, joint practices. I'm lobbing you a softball. What do you got for us, Kory?
Well, it's going to be the first joint practice that under the Dan Campbell era. Last year the Lions didn't participate in them. I guess he was just trying to get a little bit more acclimated with things. But they're going to be having joint practices today and tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, they're traveling there right now. So Wednesday and Thursday, they're going to have the joint practices. Yesterday, they went pretty light at it, but they went longer than normal. Normally, the Lions practice would have been ending like as late as 10:30. Or they have a walkthrough, and they're not going full pads. They'll end pretty early, like around 9:45-ish. Yesterday, they went right around 11 o'clock. So they were trying to get a lot of stuff installed. But, yeah, that's what's going on right now. He wanted to do it with Frank Reich. He said Dan Campbell said he had a lot of respect for Frank just from his time knowing him during their pro days and whatnot. And, yeah.
And watching Kory, thank you for joining us, by the way. You're the man. And by the way, watching the preseason game on Friday and seeing how it played out, obviously Dan Campbell talked about it in his press conference, but how, leaving from that preseason game and how it ended and just what he took away from it, how do they approach practice? Like, what are some things they're trying to hammer on and fix to get ready for this big week now going and training with the Colts?
One thing I saw yesterday in practice, one thing I saw yesterday in practice was that they were really on it about the body language of the guys. It looked like a lot of guys were maybe a little, Mask and Sean might know this phrase. They were moving like they had molasses in their asses. so they were really getting on them about that. That's the one thing I mainly saw yesterday. And just enough, I can just I'll add this in there again. I know a lot of people are saying that were talking to me about. I thought you said Tim Boyle looked good. It was pretty interesting yesterday that in practices, Tim Boyle looks great, and David Blau sometimes looks like he's struggling. But when it came to the game time, Tim Boyle was the guy that was struggling, and David Blau was looking pretty damn good.
Hey, Kory Woods joins us, our Lions beat reporter emeritus. Glad to have you here, man. How's it been with Hard Knocks? I know the one day, obviously they were covering the game at Ford Field, but what'd they do as far as yesterday, getting ready for that Colts game? Because what are we looking forward to seeing tonight?
I don't know how much of the cutting room from yesterday will be on there, because I do know in the last Hard Knocks episode they actually had footage from that past Saturday with the Family Fest. So whoever that editing team, the fact that they were able to get that Family Fest footage in there and still have it air on Tuesday, I thought that was pretty spectacular. So I don't know how much of yesterday will be on there, but I think you will pretty much see the intensity kick up from Dan Campbell, because he's been a lot more vocal this time around as opposed to last year. I don't think it's just from the cameras. because he was pretty vocal in practice last year, but you're seeing him turn it up right now because I believe Dan is more sure of what he's looking to get out of his players. So you might see a little bit of that. You'll probably see more of Jamal Williams getting gifts from so many fans because just about every day some fan brings him a bag of something that's filled with anime. So he's been cleaning up. I don't think he has to buy any more anime stuff for the rest of his time in Detroit.
Kory Woods kindly joining us. Kory, to your point, I'm a firm believer, and I said so just before you joined us, that I think that both Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell knew what they didn't have last year, and they're expecting to take the next step this year. And I'm not saying it's going to be playoffs or anything, but you're going to want a lot more than what you saw last year. It sounds like he's kind of coaching accordingly this year?
Yeah, it's like I told everybody that asked me, it's the same Dan Campbell from last year. It's just that I believe the nerves are removed, and now you're starting to see the confidence in the game plan of what he's trying to do. You're now seeing the players coming off of, oh, crap, Matt Patricia's here. You got to walk on eggshells to now they have a coach that not only believes in them, but a guy that they want to come and play for. And you're seeing that competition play out throughout camp, during the drills, during the way the guys are talking to each other, the way that Jared Goff is just maneuvering around the practice field and the confidence that he has. It's a different vibe.
And another thing, Kory, I do want to ask too is about the unsung hero, Tom Kennedy. And this is a guy that he played well in the preseason. He plays well every damn preseason. But in your opinion, what's the future look like for Tom Kennedy in a wide receiver room that is very, very deep?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news for all the Tom Kennedy fans, but I think pretty much you might see the same designation as last year. He probably could move to the practice team. They'll call him up if something. They'll call him up if something happens, unfortunately. But I mean, you got to look at the receiver room right now. You're probably not gonna see Jamison Williams until after the bye week, and I don't think anybody should expect nor want to see him before then, because as great as the talent as he is, I don't think that he's going to make that much of a difference right now. In those first couple of weeks, you're going to have Amon-Ra, DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond. Maybe you can slide probably Trinity Benson as well. I mean, Tom Kennedy could maybe edge out Trinity Benson, but again, when Jamison Williams comes back, Tom Kennedy's going to go back to where he was on the practice squad. He's playing well in practice. He's catching everything that's thrown to him. But that wide receiver room is so loaded that I just honestly don't see where he's going to fit in once Jamison Williams comes back, unless there's an injury.
Well, special teams. I mean, he's terrific on special teams, but let's go to his special teams. Let's go to the kicking game. Who's going to kick field goals for this team?
Right now, if I had to pick a guy, it's probably going to be Austin Seibert. Hope I'm saying his name well. Even though Riley Patterson was the unsung hero last year to end the season, I believe it's going to be Austin. He's been kicking well, and he's been kicking well from deep. So I think he's going to be that guy.
Kory, I'm not, again, trying to make you blush, but you announced on Twitter today that you are going to be leaving Woodward Sports. I'm not going to ask you where you're going. I'm just going to tell you, you have done a fantastic job with Woodward Sports. And whatever you do next, I know you're going to be successful. You've done a great job here. Congratulations on that. I wish you nothing but the best. I mean that, my friend.
We'll miss you.
We'll miss you, Kory.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that.
All right. Kory, keep up the great work, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more and hearing more from you. Kory Woods, kindly join us. Take care, my friend.
Take care, you guys. Have a good show.
See you, Kory.
Kory Woods.
I love Kory, man. He's blushing. You can see it.
Oh, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. Love. Did you see Tom?
We got a lot of talent here.
Did you see Maz? Maz gave that proud Papa face. Did you see that?
Yeah,
look at there's the proud Papa face right there. See, right?
I told him just when he's become really good, and now he's leaving.
Yeah. There's that music.
Takes a while, man.
Can I talk about Jared Goff when we come back, if you guys don't mind? I'm going to throw a curveball because remember what I said about Jared Goff last year?
That he stunk.
I don't think he's good. I'm going to twist it a little bit. I got a caveat, and I'll tell you when we come back.
Caveat.
Woodward Sports, glad you could join us. Jeff Iafrate, Tom Mazawey, Sean Baligian, right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
But first, a message from Big Frog. Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Nova.
Free?
free. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. That is bigfrog.com/Novi.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, so do we have a read here? Is that how it works? Do I like
We are
in?
good.
We're good to go? All right, welcome back in Woodward Sports. Sean Baligian sitting in for Ryan Ermani, playing the role of Braylon Edwards. Juicy Jeff. It's been a while since you heard that, right? Or do they still drop Juicy Jeff on you?
D-Mac, everybody. D-Mac will call me Juicy.
He's a handsome fella. And another handsome fella, Tom Mazawey, in the house today as well. All right, guys. So you got a year of Jared Goff. The last time I was here, a lot of people, including some people on the staff, weren't very happy with me because I just don't think Jared Goff's good. Okay?
Yeah.
He had a magical year with the Rams. He had a pretty good year with the Rams, and then he kind of turned into a turnover machine. I mean, that's just the way it was. And then through the first 10 weeks of last year, he looked like the Jared Goff of the previous couple years. Turnover machine, et cetera, et cetera. And then late in the year, I don't want to say that he was good.
Solid.
He wasn't bad.
Right.
Is that fair? Am I being fair to Jared Goff?
Well, he got himself Josh Reynolds, a guy that he was, that he knew. Because let's face it, he didn't have anyone else to throw to. But when he got Josh Reynolds here, his game went up a little.
So, Maz, I think you are picking up on what I'm dropping off right now. You heard Kory talk about all of a sudden those weapons that he has.
Yep.
Is there anything great there? No. But I think Amon, what more needs to be said? Mm-hmm. I really like Cephas as a depth guy. I do. I've said that 2 years ago, a year ago. I'll say it again now. And obviously the promise of Jameson, right? I'm intrigued to see, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm intrigued to see if there is another level for Jared Goff. And if I'm being fair, I'm willing to give him that opportunity without just going, he's bad, he's terrible, let's move on as fast as possible.
Right.
Am I an idiot for doing that, or are you guys in the same position?
I'm in a similar position. I think Jared Goff right now is what he is. If Jared could have took that next level, it would have been with the Rams, and they wouldn't have to give up 2 future first and a third round pick to upgrade their quarterback. So that's kind of how I feel about Jared. But to your point, Sean, I think now he has a plethora of weapons that he didn't have last year. So if we're going to see Jared Goff play well, it's this year with these weapons, with that offensive line and that run game. Because in Jared Goff's future, when has he been at his best? When they can run the football.
Let me add this in, Sean, before you hop in. That wide receiver room, that is not a bad room.
It's
now.
not.
I mean, truly.
It's not.
It's a very competitive room. How many better combined receiver group? I think they're better than the Dallas Cowboy receivers.
Well, in terms of depth,
CeeDee Lamb, depth-wise, they got something.
Yeah.
And that offensive line.
But to Sean's point, I think his point was also like you don't have that dude.
Not yet.
You have a lot of guys.
Yes.
But the Cowboys have CeeDee Lamb. He's that dude.
He is.
So Amon-Ra, I think, can be, but we have to see more out of him to be that dude.
And I mean, look, I love Jameson. I do. I don't know. That was one of those picks. I couldn't believe people were mad. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, and I wish I was here to talk about that because Lord knows I pounded on the Lions for a lot of things in the past. If anybody's followed my career, I don't get mad when you take arguably the best guy at his position.
Right.
Now, you got to do your due diligence. You know, you got to talk to the doctors. You have to see where things are at. But to me, position of need, arguably the best guy at his position. You're not ready to win this year as much as you guys want it. They're not ready to win this year. And if you don't believe me, see the linebacking core. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a, listen, before somebody yells at me, well, that was a luxury pick, and the Lions aren't in a position to grab a luxury pick. I'm going to disagree with that. Again, arguably the best wide receiver in the entire class, and you got the future to wait for him. I didn't have a problem with that draft pick, man. I think the sky's the limit for that guy. I really do.
Yeah, and that's how the NFL's going. Speed kills. And you got the fastest wide receiver in the draft, and you can even go back to Aiden Hutchinson. They got arguably the best offensive weapon and the best defensive player in the draft. That's the parallel right there.
You got it. Maz, you and I have grown up in an era of football that this game has changed so dramatically, and if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and listen to Pat Summerall call games and all that stuff. I think you're right. We can go into the whole Summerall thing, but watch a game from like the 90s and watch a game now. I heard Tony Dungy say this a few years ago, and I have screamed this for probably 5 or 6 years. The NFL today is, what can your quarterback and your passing weapons do to the opposition, and what can your defense do to pressure the opposition's quarterback? It's as simple as that. That's what the league is today.
When we were young, it was running backs.
Yep.
Give
Absolutely.
the ball to Emmitt Smith. Now, forget it. The running backs, what are they lasting? 3 years, maybe?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and the wide receivers are your now behind quarterbacks as your second highest paid position on the team.
Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl. Who's his running back? Cam Akers coming off an Achilles injury. So they need Cam Akers. Like you said, it's an offensively driven league. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to protect the quarterback.
And that's what I think, to that point.
Yep.
That's what I think Brad Holmes is trying to do in playing this long game. Again, lest we forget that they have the extra pick going into 2023. And listen, I'll be the first guy to say this. The last word that a Lion fan wants to hear is patience. I don't care what age you are, okay? You can be an old dude like me. You can be a young dude who just hit his 19th birthday, like that handsome fellow right there. Put the camera on that handsome. Look at that guy. Look at that smile. Nobody wants to hear about patience, because we've had to be patient with this franchise our entire life, no matter who you are. But that's where we're at right now with this team. Be patient. They're actually trying to build something, Maz. And I, for one, I appreciate it. I can understand it. There's no quick fix with this team.
But I wish you were here for when Scott Bischoff was here and we were doing the draft, because I would have asked you this question.
All right.
And I haven't heard your opinion on this,
All
so
right.
I'm anxious. I think everyone here is going to know what I ask you. You have the second-round pick. You also have a third-round pick, okay? You've moved picks around already, okay? You have Jared Goff as your starting quarterback.
Uh-oh.
You have no backups. And the quarterback class, okay, it was a B class maybe. But why the hell are you reaching for a Josh Paschal with your second pick, another injured person, when you could have had maybe your quarterback in Malik Willis? And I'm just going to throw his name out there, and you two, of course, are going to call me an idiot again. But why did they not draft any quarterback to put on this team?
Maz, I don't know if you're going to be surprised. I understand that, and I was wondering that myself. Why not? Why not? Your stud doesn't have to come from a top 10 pick.
No.
It doesn't have to. I know it increases the chances. There's no guarantee. But this is where I go back to, and I know it sounds boring, maybe, just maybe, their scouting staff looked at these guys and said, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
I don't like Desmond. I don't like Malik. I don't like, fill in the blank. Maybe that's what I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
What harm would it have been?
I don't
it's
think
not your first round pick.
I don't think you're wasting a lot. I can tell you this. I think you guys know, at least you do, Maz, because we did it a lot, and Adam and I would do this together. I'm a mockaholic.
Yeah.
I am. I'm a mockaholic. I'm doing mock drafts for the 2023 draft right now. You can do it online. I can't tell you how many drafts I found myself taking one of those quarterbacks at what would have been 34, or if you make the deal down, 36, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Would I have taken a flyer? Absolutely. I would have. What about you, young man?
No. I wouldn't have. I disagree. Just because the Lions right now, and I get Tennessee can afford, they can go take a Malik Willis. If it doesn't work out, they still had a great team around, and they don't need to worry about it. Josh Pascal was in a reach at that pick. That's where I'll disagree with you, because if you're talking building this defensive line and you saw them struggle in the preseason game with the starters in the game, there's still a lot of work to do on that defensive line. Yeah, I was kind of sitting at home thinking to myself, where's Josh Pascal? Like, we need Josh Pascal out here. So I get, now that Josh is injured, you pose the question, well, we could add Malik Willis. Let these things play out, please. Because, again, if you're in Brad Holmes, if he knew this, he would have took him. But if you think Malik Willis is going to be a generational or a starting quarterback, a good starting quarterback, then you take him. But if you don't think that can happen, you think Jared's better than Malik and will be for a couple years, why would you take him? Like, what's the point of Malik sitting behind Jared Goff? Whether I can have Josh Pascal, who can affect the game on a game-to-game basis.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now.
Well, you didn't know he'd be injured.
Yeah,
So
they did. He was always injured.
He was injured, but you didn't know the sports hernia would pop up as well. Like that came out of
before the sports
left
hernia.
field.
It was his knee again.
My issue with the draft, and again, consider the source, because not only am I a mockaholic, but I've done so many of these draft shows in the past,
right,
is sometimes people get hung up on really dumb things, okay? Joe Burrow a couple years ago. Remember, look at his tiny little hands.
Kenny Pickett this year.
Kenny Pickett's my point. What did Kenny Pickett do wrong?
Nothing.
Like you know what? It's always fascinating to me. And I'm not pointing the finger at Scott Bischoff, but it's always fascinating to me when you talk to some of these draft beatniks. And what's the line that they always fall back to? The tape don't lie. But they end up picking guys apart for... I came this close to swearing, and I promised myself I was not going to do it. They end up picking guys apart for crap that has nothing to do with what the tape shows.
Right.
And I've never... What was wrong with Kenny Pickett? And again, I'm not being a hypocrite here, all right? I'm not saying that Kenny Pickett's going to be great based on what we saw in week one. But Kenny Pickett is a guy that I think had some unfair things held against him. Why not take a chance on a guy like that?
And
right?
J.D. Smith in the chat is a great comment. He says, look how well Maz's theory, and this isn't your theory, but he's just saying the name, worked out for Green Bay with Love. Like, hey, take a chance.
Why not?
Well, look how it's working out. Now you're like, shh, I can't swear on the air, but you're like, crap. I mean, I should have taken a wide receiver. I should have taken a skill position player. So for me, the only thing I have an issue with is Malik Willis at 2 at the time, because no, you're not taking Malik Willis at 2. But second, third round, Maz, I can't really. We're not going to argue over it. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't have been bad to reach, but again, I just don't see it as.
The Steelers did all right for themselves. They got themselves Pickett and Pickens, and you're going to hear those names in this upcoming year and the years following.
There's another guy.
Two guys that fell.
Pickens is.
How the heck?
Yeah, two guys that fell. And who gets them? Winning teams.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers.
But they can afford those guys, too. Like, you take Pickens, all right. You take Kenny Pickett, all right.
They really can't afford it, Jeff, because when they don't make the playoffs, they're held to a way higher standard than us. We're happy with 7 wins here.
Well,
we're trying to get off the ground as well.
I hate to be boring. This is where I'm going to repeat the line. You have to trust your scouting staff. If your scouting staff thinks that Juicy Jeff at 34, I don't know how this guy fell to 34. We got to grab this guy. I'm not saying he's ready for 2023, but I'm telling you, guys, be patient. Let's have one more year of fill in the blank. This guy's going to be. Then you jump,
and that's what it was.
Jump.
That's what it was to me, Sean. I think he saw Josh Pascal available in the second round. He said, this guy's more highly rated than Malik, any of these guys. And I don't think it was more so he didn't like Malik. I just think he had Josh Pascal higher on his board. I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a shot at Malik, but again, you're taking the player you feel is better.
I'm just saying, let's just put him on the Lions right now. Let's say they got him in the third round.
Okay.
Let's say they moved up and they grabbed him. You would be, as a Lion fan, you would be at those practices and you would be looking at him saying, wow, we got it. We got it. We did it. We're on the map. Oh, my God. Sean, am I wrong?
No. That's that's what we do. We've lived through it. I'll give you an example when we come back of a guy. And Maz, I don't think you and I have ever had this conversation. And I gave him a nickname that, unfortunately, has kind of stuck with him throughout his career, and for good reason. I'll leave it at that. But it's time to break again. And do we go straight to a break, or are we going to have Sam do another read here?
I'll take it from here. Because if you guys need help, if you think Malik Willis should have been taken at number 2, I got a place for you. It's SMA, the sports marketing agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word series, on fentanyl, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Please go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling or know someone who is.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
All right, welcome back in. So glad you could join us wherever you are. Woodward Sports Network, Jeff Iafrate, Maz, Sam, and Fletcher here. I'm Sean Baligian. We are sitting in for Ryan Ermani and Braylon Edwards. Maz, I want to ask you a question. And Jeff, I'm sure you're old enough to remember. Mm-hmm. The thing about this town, and I think this goes for a lot of towns, but I think with this town, sometimes we want to believe so desperately that we look past obvious like traits, okay? And the example that I gave before the break, John Joseph Harrington, a.k.a. Joey Harrington.
Yeah.
And I nicknamed him Joey Blue Skies, as you know, and it kind of stuck in everything. If you couldn't figure out within a couple years that it was going to happen for that guy, it's because you didn't want to see it. It wasn't going to happen. And every time he showed a flash, people would go, see? Now what do you have to say? And I'd go, sample size. If I see this much, blah, and then see this much, oh, wow. Well, what is real, right? And I think Harrington is a perfect example of what you brought up in the last segment, Jeff, of eventually you have to get to the point where you just have to cut bait. Yeah. And I think that's what we saw with one John Joseph Harrington, and that, I don't know the reason behind it. I'm just telling you, he just wasn't liked in the room. I've heard different things. I don't want to disparage the man's name, but I don't think I'm exactly letting out a secret that not only did he not get it done on the field, but he didn't exactly endear himself to some teammates. But Maz, I know you were knee deep in the Lions back then, sometimes waist deep, and that's a guy that comes to mind that the Lions should have cut bait on that guy much earlier than they did.
There's not a doubt about that. I mean, the poor kid, but look what he came into. Came into the Matt Millen era.
Disaster.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of them did not want him. But
yes, it was Marty.
Marty
did not.
Marty Morningweg was the coach when he was a genius offensive coordinator prior to that. Did not want Harrington. But Millen and Mr. Ford said, we got to go get our face of the franchise. We got to get him. And from day one,
and
let's face it,
Mooch didn't like him either. Remember, Mooch came in right after, and Mooch did not like him.
Did not want him. And it just didn't work from the get-go. And you know what? But when you draft a guy that high, you can't just cut bait right away.
Yeah. Right.
We blamed everything else. The offensive line sucked. We got no running game. The wide receivers. Well, you blame everything else. But when it came down to it, the kid came into a bad situation, and he wasn't ready for it.
No.
We really, Sean, you really don't know. If maybe he would have went to the Cowboys, for instance.
There's no guarantee.
You don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's no guarantee, and and that's when we do and I get it, we as fans do this, but when we do the retrospect, like conversations, to your point, Maz, I don't know how Malik Willis would have done here. Maybe Malik Willis ends up being a flat-out stud, right? And I like the kid's skill set. I mean, everybody can see it. What if he came here? There's no guarantee that it would have worked here. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it would have with that offensive line and DeAndre Swift,
Things would have been easier.
Jamal Williams. I just think this is not the old Lions. It's not.
No.
I know I've said that in the past, but I really do believe this time that this is not your old dad's, our Lions. We'll just say our Lions.
Yeah, and with Malik
these are
too,
Jeff's Lions.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think another thing with Malik too, it's like he's a project. Like he needs a lot of work too. It's not just what he brings physically because he has all the tools. It's on the field. It's the mechanics of especially his throwing motion. There's a lot of things he can improve on. But again, if you're the Lions, you take a flyer on him. You feel like eventually he can pan out to what you think he can be. Then I trust Brad Holmes. But again, I am going to defend Brad Holmes' decision to take Josh Pascal because listen, Brad Holmes knows more football than me. A little bit of football.
You know. He hasn't given me a lot of reason to doubt him yet.
No,
I like the way he's doing things. I'm going to keep saying that. And this is what we talked about last year. Some people, and it's cool. I'm not going, ha, ha. And some people were actually really nice, and I'm not going to mention any names. They know who they are. And we're like, dude, I gave you a lot of crap for that. I like the fact that he said, I took over crap. We're going to have to bite the bullet. We're going to have to bite the bullet hard. We're going to have to take our lumps and build through the draft. I'm totally cool with it. So when they win 6 or 7 games this year, I know some people are already going up, well, their schedule, and maybe, just maybe. I mean, this division isn't as good as I thought. I don't think they're ready yet for a myriad of reasons, but Brad Holmes hasn't given me any reason to really hammer him, you know?
And he made that deal, Sean, for Jamison Williams inside his division.
Yeah,
he went with Mensa, the new GM of the Vikings.
Yep.
You don't see that often.
No.
You do not see that.
And he fleeced them.
I don't know about fleecing them, but it did seem like they did pretty well. They didn't really move down very far, and they picked up an extra pick in the 3rd round. It worked out.
All I saw was you gave up a 1st-round pick and a 3rd, a 2nd to move up 20 spots in the 1st round. It's a good deal.
Very quickly, and we're going to touch on some of the Mason Rudolph stuff. I have to tell you something, Maz. I don't know if you were there, but I always used to make a joke. I wanted to play cards with Steve Mariucci one day. And Coach Izzo, if you're out there, maybe you can make this happen. Maz, do you remember when we were – I don't know if you were at practice. It was 15, 16 years ago, whatever. But, Jeff, I'm not lying. Watching Mariucci watch Joey Harrington – was priceless.
No poker face.
Yeah, no poker face. He's kind of sitting there going,
yeah,
this is what I have to deal with. This guy's going to fit my West Coast offense.
Hey, he took the shine out of his blue eyes.
Really
Remember those shiny blue eyes?
He really did. I'm not joking. He gave this look like, oh, bleep.
When can I get on the plane back to San Francisco?
We are so screwed if this guy is our. And
we sent him to the NFL Network.
Yeah, I want to play poker with Mooch to this day because his poker face didn't exist.
Sent him into the showbiz.
We did.
After that, yeah.
Does Mason Rudolph intrigue any of you at all?
Yes.
I'll ask these guys when we come back. You heard Maz yell yes already. Maz came up with a great question. What current quarterback would you want leading your team on a game-winning drive today? Anybody that knows me knows whose name I'm going to scream out there. Don't go anywhere. More of the show on a Tuesday afternoon. So glad you could join us. Before we hit the break, though, one of these guys are going to tell you about our friends from Fowl.
The Foaling Warehouse. The Foaling Warehouse it is. And that's it in Hamtramck. Of course, 2 ways to play this great game.
There.
Football and bowling. You put them together.
It's a great time.
It's a phenomenal game. And our man, Chris Hutt, invented that game. He'll be there to tell you all the rules. $12 unlimited open play. And, of course, you can have a private lane reservation. 2 hours, 10 or 12 people on a lane, run you $120 for that 2 hours, less than $10 per person. Any drink you want. They got multiple full bars, over 100 beers to offer, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Spin that wheel and get yourself a Colt 45 coming down that machine. Get your old food, bring it in, have it delivered. It doesn't matter. Plenty of room to spread out and enjoy yourself. Get your foal on. For more information, check out foalingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @centronworld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
All right,
Planet
welcome back in.
Fitness is
So
inviting
glad.
all high school teens ages 14 to 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summer Pass, and it goes all the way until August 31st. Planet Fitness is home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere with membership starting at only $10 a month, or you can get a
Only
black card
$10?
for $24.99. That's right, only $10. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. Sean, you're up.
You know what's essential? Sean.
Somebody tell the new guy.
That's again.
Better get that swear jar out there.
Hey.
I'm going to revisit that swear
Use
jar.
the Lions helmet.
That's what I get for being on the phone instead of telling you what to do.
That's all right.
My bad.
Yeah, I should have figured it out. I mean, it's not like you didn't tell me 17 times already.
No, you're killing it today.
Oh,
you
thank
really are.
It's the people that I work with that are making it happen. Is my boy? Is he there right now?
No.
I love this guy. I love watching him do what he does now. I don't think it's any secret. I don't think it's any secret that I used to say when I was on the network, this guy's going to be huge. And I can take the gonna be out of it right now. This guy is huge. My boy Adam.
What's up,
How are you,
Sean?
Adam? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you on here.
Oh, it's great to be back. What's going on, my friend?
I'm blushing like a 13-year-old virgin.
Hey, me too, Adam. I'm trying to keep it calm right now.
You still are one.
Adam doing a great job in the morning with Terry Foster. If you haven't checked those guys out, well, shame on you. I mean, I have no other way to say
I
that.
guess.
They're
I
doing
mean, Sean, I miss you, buddy. I'm glad to see you. I found out today that the Illiches hate me, so, I'm doing something right.
Oh, wow. Welcome to the club, huh? There's a little bit of that going on, right? So, Adam, we were just talking about some things in the last year, some conversations that we had in the last year, and you've been privy to some of them. You and I used to yell at some people around here and get all adamant and everything. With that being said, now that we are in year 2, do you see the direction this team is going, and are you now kind of going, yeah, I get it? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think you were in the same boat as me last year. Stop talking about what you're going to do in 2021 and start thinking about what you're going to do in 2022 and most importantly in 2023.
Yeah, we talked about this. They had to fix the salary cap. We knew they were going to suck. The entire network thought they were going to win 10 games, so we had to set everything straight with that. That was a whole... Sorry, boys. You know who you are.
True story.
You know who you are.
True story.
We're not going to call people out, all right? I'm going to try to be respectful right now. And I'm going to try not to swear because it's not my show. So, whatever. But yeah, no, Sean, I think it's simple. You got to believe in Brad Holmes. The guy in 2 years has brought things to Detroit you just don't typically see. Draft capital, moving up in the draft, being able to move up in the draft for basically a third-round pick. You swap picks. You gave him the 33rd overall pick. I mean, it was an easy deal for them to make, let alone within the division. You just don't see that. And then on top of it, let's be honest, they've been fortunate, right? That's not something we ever talked about with the Detroit Lions. They're fortunate that Penei Sewell fell to 7. It's not often you see 3 quarterbacks taken 1, 2, and 3, and then Kyle Pitts, and then Jamar Chase, and then Tua and Miami sitting there at 6. Like, all right, we need to figure out what we're going to do with Tua. We got to get him a wide receiver. And it worked out. I mean, he's a good wide receiver, but you don't get Penei Sewell in typical drafts. He goes top 3. And then you fast forward this year. Trent Baalke, God bless. It's Trayvon Walker. Athletic, high motor, big build, the ceiling, the potential. Thank you. Thank you for Aiden Hutchinson. We appreciate it. So, God bless Brad Holmes for not listening to Mads about Malik Willis and Easy at number 2 overall. Every once in a while you gotta, you gotta move forward and not listen to a lot of people. And I'm glad we went that direction.
Adam, I do want to bring up a topic that, I can't believe we're discussing. It's Mason Rudolph, and I know a lot of people, like one of my most...
The guy was 30 of 50
Hold
for
on.
240 yards against the worst defense last season in the NFL against your Lions. He had a tryout last season. He sucked dick.
We're talking to back up.
Being on the field.
Back
There's a
up.
reason they don't want him in town. And
Back
that's because
up.
Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett are already better than him.
Back up. As a backup. Do you know what a backup is, Adam?
But it's not a good one.
He's a good backup. Tim Boyle can't back up Dearborn Fortson.
Wait, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but it's all part of the plan, man. Right?
Plan your ass! If Goff goes out, it's over.
That's the point. It's over.
All right, then just dump the whole year then. What the hell?
Yeah, dump the whole year. If Goff goes down early and he has to miss the whole season, oh my God,
over.
Give me that top 2, top 3.
Yes.
Would you rather have?
Yes.
I'll take the pick, but people yelled at me when I said throw the year away.
But do you understand what Adam's saying?
Yes.
Like, if we're all going to say we're heading in the right direction, if we're all going to say that 2022 isn't the year, let's wait and see what 2023 is, then I'm all for what he just said. I don't want I don't want to see anybody get hurt, okay? I can't believe you're rooting for somebody. No, I'm not saying that.
But, yeah.
If the Lions pulled another 3-13-1, I'm not going to cry a lot of tears over that, because this is what they do in 20. Exactly. This is about what they do in 2023 and beyond, not what they do in 2022.
So you're saying Mason Rudolph can't, move the chains for us if Jared Goff gets injured? Is that
Yes.
what we've? Okay, all right, we're good then.
Yes.
He can?
Yeah,
Yes, he
it's
can.
It's a simple model, guys. I think we all expect the Lions to be a much better football team this year with Jared Goff. If he plays all 17 games, worst case scenario, you're a 7-10, 6-11 football team. Best case scenario, maybe you're 8-9, 9-8. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm comfortable with 7 wins. You're going to be picking anywhere from 9 to 11 in the draft, and Brett Holmes has shown he can trade up in the draft. You saw it with the Niners and Trey Lance. They did it a few years ago. Just give up the first-round picks. If you want your quarterback, he'll be there. If it's not the guy at the top of the board, we've seen Mitchell Trubisky go and Patrick Mahomes go 6 picks later.
Right.
Welcome to the NFL. When
So
Brad
is that
Holmes
where-
identifies this guy, the rest will be history.
Adam, is that where you're at? I'm saying 7 wins tops for this team. Seven
Yeah.
tops. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to hit the over, and Sean, I think they're going to be one of the most pain in the ass teams to play against in the NFL. It wouldn't surprise me if they won 8, and I know people probably are going to freak out, but 8 wins might be enough to get you an NFC wildcard. Sorry, it might be enough for the 7th seed this year. The NFC is filled with average to below average teams. There's only 2-3 teams at the top that are really good. Philly, I think, is a joke. Dallas, I think, is a joke. I mean,
Philly's
these are
not a
all
joke.
10 teams that take advantage of weaker teams. So I think the Lions are going to give a lot of teams fits this year. I think they're going to struggle in the AFC East. That's a tough matchup for them. And you know what? In the division, I don't think it's reckless to say 3-3 or 4-2 in the division. I think that's very realistic. I think the Bears go 0-17. So 2 free weeks to start the year.
You know, I love you there. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, and I'm not, participating in the swear jar. I hate the bleeping Bears. That has always been, I hate the Bears. You guys grew up with Aaron Rodgers haunting you. I grew up with that son of a, that bad. I hate the Bears.
You can say bitch.
I hate the Bears. So I'm on that 0-17 train with you, my friend. Hey, appreciate you. You know that. I love what you're doing in the morning. You do a great job each and every day with Terry Foster. We'll check you out tomorrow, my friend.
Awesome. You're the best, Sean. So nice seeing you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Sorry,
Go to hell. Go to hell, Adam.
You know what? One of our first conversations, and Matt, you may have been privy to this. It was a couple of years ago. The Steelers had improved. What were they, 12-0 or whatever?
Yeah.
And like Adam and I were screaming at 2 or 3 different people
They're
in here,
gonna
going,
collapse.
"They suck."
Yeah, they suck.
Like Ben Roethlisberger's done.
He's terrible.
His arm is shot. And what are you talking about? They're 12-0. And remember how they finished the season?
They met the Browns.
Yeah, I had that thing with Adam. But it was, I mean, when the bottom dropped out on him, my man couldn't throw anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe he came back last year. I mean, it was over. You know?
No doubt about it.
They'd rather have Ben over Mason Rudolph. I mean, that's...
Ben's still mad at them, by the way he went out. Do you hear him? He really, truly, he says, they didn't send me out the way I deserve to go out.
Well, and you know what?
Yeah.
He should grow up and be a little bit like Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Because Drew Brees brought a Super Bowl to New Orleans, a woebegone franchise, but Drew Brees knew he was done.
Yeah.
It was over. And I mean, Joik loves Drew, loves him. And it was like, Joik, he can't throw anymore. He goes, I'm not going to say anything bad. He's my boy. But I mean, you knew it was over. And sometimes you just have to turn the page, right? That's what you have to do. I like talking football with these guys.
We love you.
Can we keep talking football?
Oh, all day.
Is that cool?
All
we got
day.
some college stuff to talk about as well.
Yep.
Some shots fired at Michigan. I don't know if it was exactly fair. We'll get into that. I still want to talk about, who do you want to take you down the field in the last minute of a game. But it is the top of the hour. It is time to break. And we're going to talk about our boy, Les Stanford, heading into this break.
It's no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. You've got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has over 350 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles. For more, visit lesstanford.com. lesstanford.com. Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Started out the week with a winner. Woo woo! We'll get another winner here in a second. But first, you guys got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, we got to get to some winners. Listen, we got a great pitching matchup here tonight. Justin Verlander versus Dylan Cease. We're going to roll with that. I like Verlander in this spot. Woodward Bets, oddstrader.com. Check it out.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Everything. Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
I'm familiar with those guys. Shout out to Scott and everybody at Alta. Appreciate everything you guys do. Second hour here. Braylon is off. Ermani is off. You're stuck with me.
And me.
Jeff's here. Maz is here. At least that's a good bonus
Yeah,
for
one
you
out
guys.
of the 3. We got Maz.
We're blessed to have you, Sean.
You know what? I love talking football with you guys. This is like really cool.
Oh, it's fun.
Like I was worried that we were all gonna Maz might start slipping some horse racing in there.
Hank.
You might start slipping some basketball. I might start slipping some puck in there. But no,
we'll talk puck.
Let's. It's a football friendly day.
Yeah,
Maz, I like this question, and anybody that knows me knows who I'm going to pick. Okay.
I know. I already know your answer.
What current quarterback would you want leading your team on a game-winning drive? I absolutely, positively, and I'm going to be one of those snobby fans. I loved him before it was cool to love him.
The Dakota.
I love Josh Allen.
There he is.
I love Josh Allen. And you know why I picked Josh Allen? No disrespect to the GOAT. Maz is mad at me because I called Tom Brady the GOAT.
That's okay. No, he is.
Have you accepted it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know begrudgingly, I was where you were at maybe 5 years ago. Like, it was the Falcons game where I went from I was Joe Montana to I was watching that going, I can't argue this anymore.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, and we'll just move on with our day. Josh Allen can just hurt you in so many different ways.
That's it right there.
I'm surprised you picked him.
I
Number one.
love Josh. Love
2 minute drill.
I love Josh
for
Allen.
a touchdown, a game winner.
I love Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he did it last year against the Chiefs.
I think he did it, as I remember, in that last minute of the game. He did it 3 times, and then Mahomes did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Is that how it
14
worked, that
I
game?
think so.
14 seconds.
I still have that game on my DVR.
It was insane.
Yeah.
One of the best football games I've seen in a long time.
Unbelievable.
Who are you going with?
I mean, the obvious one to me, and you pick Josh Allen, it's obviously Tom Brady. I mean, he has one below the most game-winning drives. Peyton Manning with 54, he has 53. So Tom Brady would be mine. But if we're doing something fun, you kind of got it. I was going to go Josh Allen because of what you just said, because he can hurt you in so many different ways. Tom, the GOAT, as Maz acknowledged, which is a lot for Maz to acknowledge,
That
by the way.
really is a lot.
It's a lot. It took a lot.
It hurts.
You should see the pain.
But with Josh, you have his ability to kill you with his legs. So that's why I'm going with Josh. You can't go wrong with Josh for Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you. Who are you going with, Maz? Why are you smirking? You going to pick Tom?
No, I'm not picking Tom.
Who are you going with?
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I'm an Aaron Rodgers
I'm not going to
fan.
argue too much with that.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers
The guy
fan.
hasn't
And
won- All right, go. I'll let you talk.
I don't even have to talk. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, you do. You need to explain.
He can get that team down the field inside of 2 minutes anytime you need a touchdown.
What about against the Buccaneers? 2 years ago? He had 2 minutes left in the last quarter of the game to go win.
I understand. He
And
was
what
inside
happened?
the 10-yard line. Some bad calls. He should have run the
some
ball
bad
in
calls. Yeah,
on that
you're
on
right.
that second
Yeah.
down. He did have the right-hand side of the field. I don't know what happened to him. And last year, I'm going to throw that playoff game out and blame it on his girlfriend for breaking his heart. But I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, and I'm sorry to say it, but that I trust him.
Trust. Okay, well, trust is a tough one. I like Aaron, talented, probably the most gifted quarterback in terms of throwing the football.
He's
but
phenomenal. What more do you want?
But the question is, leading you on a game-winning drive.
Yeah.
I would take Stafford right now. What he did with the Rams, with that team, 3 consecutive in a row game-winning drives. Like you gave him a good roster and he did it. Aaron Rodgers has had good roster.
You forget a couple plays before that touchdown, he fumbled.
I think
if you remember
forget,
that. Well, it was the center throwing the ball way behind his head.
I think people forget, in particular, in the 2016 season when that team made the playoffs. When, in my opinion, they really didn't have any business making the playoffs.
True.
How many times Matthew Stafford brought them down the field? I mean, he
Dig
really.
you out of it.
Somebody was it? I forget who it was at Woodward, but somebody posted the touchdown, the overtime touchdown to Golden Tate. Remember on the backflip into the end zone?
Yeah.
And then the Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
You know, when they made the big play after Sam Bradford went all Sam Bradford, and they made the big play.
I wanted him, by the way. I wanted to draft him.
Isn't it funny? Sometimes you just I'm glad to hear you confess, because I miss. Do you know who I and I call myself on this all the time. And Bischoff, if you're watching, you know this. Do you know who I always used to say? I don't get it with this guy. What am I missing? Jason Haber.
Oh,
I just didn't think he was anything in college. I really didn't. I just go, what am I missing? He's silly good.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's the answer to another question that you posed today. All right, and we'll get to that momentarily. Now you're a youngin', Jeff. So maybe this question just goes to Maz. Maz, you also threw all time. Who is your guy that you want on the field? I may surprise you with my answer, but I'm going to ask you first.
I'm taking Joe Montana.
I'm not going to argue with you. Do you know who I'm going to?
You want to laugh? I got Roger Staubach as my second
Roger
pick.
the Dodger. That's who I was picking.
He's
Roger
Mr.
Staubach.
2-minute drive. Mr. Hail Mary was invented by the Dallas Cowboys.
It was Staubach
to Drew Pearson.
Staubach to Drew Pearson.
Yep.
Captain Comeback.
Yes.
You know, Roger Staubach was a guy that Jeff, especially early in his career, he had a little of that Josh Allen in him. He was known as Roger the Dodger. He would take off running. Boy, he paid for it. He had, I think at last count, he had 529 concussions in his career.
He did.
Wow. And seriously, it was insane. I'm obviously exaggerating there, but he had to retire early because of concussions. I mean, he got his head pounded in.
If you remember, I know you do, the Dallas Cowboys brought back the shotgun. There's no shotgun without Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach, with the quarterbacks and with the center snapping the ball back to the quarterback. It used to be you line up under the center
Right.
and you take the snap. The Dallas Cowboys of the 70s brought back that style. Am I wrong there, Sean?
No, absolutely. That's exactly what happened. So, Maz, what do we call this? The NFL Roundtable?
Yeah,
Is that what we call
NFL
it?
Roundtable.
I kind of like this. Maz threw out a bunch of questions out there for us to chew up, and obviously, you guys can react on the social medias. I like this question. What 2021-22 non-playoff team will make the postseason this year? Jeff, we'll start with you.
Well, the easy one would be the Broncos. The addition of Russell Wilson, I think that does wonders for them. And we'll get into another question, which I think Russell Wilson, I'll be mentioning him again. The Broncos would be mine. They had a Super Bowl at least contending roster. They didn't have a quarterback. They got Russell Wilson. Another one I think that's sneaky, because the Chargers would be another one I think are going to get in the playoffs.
That whole West could get in.
Absolutely. The AFC West is tough this year. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think
Good call.
See, Maz is proud of me. The Vikings, because I think their roster, a lot of people underestimate them. I get it's Kirk Cousins, but I think with Kevin O'Connell, you still got Delvin, you still got Justin Jefferson, who's still one of the best receivers in the league. So I got a lot of confidence in the Vikings. I think defensively they got some guys there. So that's really my three. Another team that I added in here, but I'm not 100% sold on is the Colts. I like what the Colts have, but I have to see Matt Ryan with this team.
I love
that's
Matt
my 3
Ryan.
or 4 right there.
I think that's a great choice as well. I was going to tell you my slam dunk, Sean and Jeff, were the Cleveland Browns. But since everything that's going on with this team, I can't see how they're going to survive this year. Maybe they get Jimmy Garoppolo to pace this season together now that Deshaun Watson's out 6 games, maybe a year. We'll see where that goes. So I can't pick the Browns anymore, but the Colts were my choice for sure. I think they're going to surprise in the AFC South. I really believe that.
I love the Chargers, and a lot of it comes to Justin Herbert. Seriously, I mean,
absolutely.
I was dead wrong on that guy. I can't stress that enough. I mean, it was
you had Joey Harringtonitis, Oregon quarterback.
Dead wrong on that. And remember,
Marcus Mariota.
There you go. Well,
Achilles Smith.
He's not bad.
Achilles
Smith was bad.
Yeah,
Poor Bengals.
But no, all jokes aside, like when people were oohing and ahhing about that guy. Scott and I were doing our draft shows for the network and everything, and I said, Scott, seriously, what am I missing about this guy? And he told me, he's like, nah, he's pretty good. And I was like, I didn't think there was anything exceptional about him. And I think the world of the guy. Watch that guy, especially what he's had at his disposal. And I mean, for that team to almost make it last year, it's I'm going to be really, really intrigued to see what they do for an encore this year. Very, very intrigued.
Yeah. How about that last game last year? The Chargers and the Ravens.
The
only way they can't make the playoffs if they tie. And that was an unbelievable game.
Yeah, really was.
It goes to the freaking tie, right to the end of the. Unbelievable. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeff.
No. I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL.
No, it's unreal.
I thought the NFL last year, and anybody that knows me, I'm going to say the line I've said 10,000 times. I'm a bigger college football fan. Point blank, I'm not ashamed of it. And in recent years, guys, it's kind of gone like this. Like college football for me, the NFL, the way it finished last year in those playoff games, the NFL got its mojo back last year, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was phenomenal. Not that it ever lost it, okay? And Maz, I know what an NFL guy you are. Yeah. Not that it ever lost it, but the way that season finished, and you think about those first few weeks of the playoffs, and kind of culminating with not only the AFC Championship but the Super Bowl itself. Whoo! Pretty hard to deny the NFL is king.
It is king.
It is and will be always.
Yeah. All right. Is it time to break again?
I think it's that time.
Why not?
I went too far, didn't I?
No.
All right, so who's going to tell us about Lady Jane's? Before we do that, hold on, stick with me.
I'm sure you could back in the day.
I have before, It's wicked awesome. That I can tell you. No, when we come back, a little more NFL talk. We want to mix in some college football talk, maybe some disrespect to the Michigan Wolverines.
How about a little Manti Te'o, too?
Oh, boy, I got to tell you guys
We
about
got to
that.
hear that story.
That was messed up. Don't go anywhere, all right? First, let's hear about Lady Jane, shall we?
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Let me tell you about our friends from Odds Trader, because oddstrader.com is the #1 site for all your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Please go to oddstrader.com right now for your best bet.
Welcome back in. Glad you could join us. Jeff, Sean, Maz, we're playing the role of Braylon and Ryan. Don't worry, they'll be back. Just filling in a couple days this week. I think Thursday you're not with us. Stick is with us, right? Looking forward to working with Stick again.
I'll be on Big D Energy the rest of the week.
Oh, are you really?
Yes.
Are you and Neil?
Yep, me and Neil.
Outstanding. Nice to see Neil today. Missed my buddy D-Mac. Missed all you guys, really. And met some new people in here today, like Sam and Fletch as well. Network doing well, most importantly because of people out like you out there, and we really appreciate that. Maz, you threw an old man question. I love old man questions because, well, frankly, I'm an old man.
That's why I put it up there.
Well, I shaved today because, like, I look 70 now, but when I have the beard, the white beard, I look 85. So that's why I did. Yeah, I shaved today. So
look at his head of hair.
Maz, you asked what throwback uniform helmet would you like to see again?
Mine's easy.
Go ahead.
Buccaneers. I'm a Bucko Bruce guy. When I was a kid, 1976, when they came into the league.
I love the creamsicle.
Loved it. I had a winter coat. Long winter coat. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the creamsicle. The hood, everything. I looked like Leroy Selman.
You probably got it cheap because they don't need them down in Tampa,
No,
right?
they don't need them in Tampa. It was very expensive at that time, obviously. That Sears catalog was awesome. Oh my God, did I love the Sears catalog.
Okay.
But yeah, give me the Buccaneers. I thought it was the greatest helmet ever. They are going to use it as the throwback once in a while, but I'd bring it back permanently.
You know, we were talking about this before the show started, and I said like the opposite. I called him Bruce Bucko, and Maz goes, no, it's Bucko Bruce. And I go, and then there's that guy in New England, Pat Patriot. And he was like, no, it's Patriot Pat.
No,
so
you went Patriot Pat. I said, no,
is
it's
that
Pat
what
the
I got?
Patriot.
Yeah, I got him. I got the wrong order.
You were close.
He just brought up something, okay? Now, I know maybe the demo, you guys are napping right now, like guys like Maz and I, maybe you're napping or looking for, the senior deal at a restaurant for dinner so you can get to bed by 7. He just said, listen to me, Jeff. Are you familiar with Sears?
Yes.
Have you heard of Sears?
Yes.
Okay. Sears, this time of year, was unbelievable. The NFL gear that they had.
Back to school.
The back to school?
Oh.
Dude. Like they had, I'm not joking, they had those like fake authentic jerseys for like $10.
Yeah. They had the team written across the front.
Yes, it wasn't even close to the same font most of the time. So again, if you're over 70 right now, you're dying laughing because this is what we grew up with.
Every number was 12.
But I'm not joking. They had you could go get like a Fran Tarkington jersey.
Number 10.
Like Vikings, number 10.
Yes.
49ers in just the dead wrong font, but number 16. And it was like $10. And occasionally they would have, you didn't have to order it from like the catalog.
No.
They would have like
their own section.
And it was always like, it was like what the hell is a Houston Oiler jacket doing in
gorgeous.
the Livonia
Houston Oilers.
Sears department?
It's gorgeous.
But I saw the Houston Oiler jacket. I did. Dad, can I get a Houston Oiler jacket? The hell do you want that for? I don't know. It's a Houston Oiler jacket.
I miss your dad.
I miss my dad.
I miss
too.
that
God bless
voice.
him. Just an
God bless
angry
him.
man. But he goes, what the hell do you want a Houston Oiler jacket for? Because I never saw a Houston Oiler jacket here, right?
Don't forget the hat with the toque with the pom pom on
I'm
it.
telling you, Sears was money. Sears, like 7 Mile and Middlebelt, you get like a jersey, like a legitimate, fake, authentic jersey for $10.
That's a steal.
It was money.
Yeah, no, it's a steal.
Were you a gear guy growing up? Now I got to ask. Did you roll to school wearing the jerseys and everything?
Yeah, especially, I mean, you see the hat I got right here. A lot of Pistons gear. Both my brothers play basketball. My family wasn't really big into football, so I didn't have, throwback Lions stuff or anything like that. But I do have old, like, Chauncey Billups jerseys. I mean, I got a lot of stuff I collect,
Throwback 2010 for Jeff.
Yeah.
2010's
well,
throwback.
Early 2000s. Early 2000s. That's where I go back, obviously. But when you brought up Houston Oilers, that was actually the jersey I was going to mention, the throwback uniforms.
That's sweet.
Jersey.
They are
Love your
unbelievable.
blue.
It's got to be the blue, though. It's
Love
got to
your
be
blue.
Yes,
the blue 34. The blue 34.
Earl.
Another one I was looking at and I fell in love with, too, is the 1970s Eagles uniforms with a little
Yep.
bird on the front. That's another one that I liked as well.
White helmet with the
Personally,
green wings.
And I don't mean to make you guys feel old, but listen, I'm going to say it. Look at Sean. My favorite uniform, the Lions, are the black unis. I want the black unis. And look at, I know he was going to make that face because of the results they had in those black unis.
No, they were ugly too.
Actually, I do want to ask you, Sean. One uniform the Pistons are bringing back are teal uniforms. What's your reaction to teal? Because I've had this debate, I guess you would call it, Terry, over
I actually was following along with some of that debate. You guys, there was a big debate amongst Woodward about the teal.
What's your take on the teal?
You know what? I'm indifferent. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't like.
That's
I don't.
fair.
I understand like what that era meant. That era meant garbage.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I saw Kory with a K talk about it. He was like, "Hey, let's be honest. That red, white, and blue has seen its fair share of garbage as well." And I was like, "It's kind of a legitimate point."
Yeah.
Do you know what makes it hard for people like me in the teal? It was coming not that long on the heels of what was an incredible era.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It was like
and
a
I
bridge.
think that's what makes it. And you're absolutely right. The black jersey to me reminds me of Mike Williams with a can of Pringles and Matt Millen
And Happy's
it's just
Pizza.
it reminds me of that dark time where people in this town, imagine this, didn't want to admit that it wasn't working. And so we had to go through 3 more years of it not working, and of course it culminated in 0-16. That hits too close to home for me.
I
It
get
hits
that
close
too.
to
You
home
see
for me.
black, you think of Matt Millen, you instantly get sick to your stomach. So I can't.
Dan
but
Campbell wore that jersey.
he did.
Yeah.
And he was a part of that team that went 0-16.
He
But
was.
Those are my 3 that
That's
I gotta
funny,
mention.
man. But and also the teal also brings back Fat Joe Dumars.
That is true.
That wasn't a fun sight.
On the tail end, yeah.
Yeah. I love you, Joe.
No, that's the one thing. Maz, I remember when the Jets changed, I hated it.
You didn't like the sack exchange, Kelly Green?
No.
I did.
Did you really?
I did. I loved the old Jet helmet, the white with the green
Yes.
football. When they went to the Jet helmet with the Jet script across, just like the Giants script across, I fell in love with it because I love the sack exchange. Mark
Richard
Gastineau,
Todd.
of course, Richard Todd, Freeman McNeil.
Kenny O'Brien.
Remember when Don
here we
Shula left the tarp off the Orange Bowl so we could flood, so the Jets couldn't run the ball, and they won 14-0 with the Killer Bees in the AFC Championship game? You don't remember that when he cheated?
Maz and I are going to get. I remember the one game. It was at O'Brien and Marino went back. It was like 48-45.
Wesley Walker,
Phenomenal.
4 touchdowns.
Look, see, here we go. This is what happened. Jeff, you better grab the wheel right now because Maz and I we're about to take a strong left. Little college football when we come back. I have a saying around here. You may have heard me say this before.
Go green.
Well, you can say go green, and if somebody wants to say go white, you can. No, you know what happens in August? I think we're pretty reasonable. until that calendar hits August. And then all of a sudden, reason and logic goes out the window. When that calendar hits to August, I think most Michigan State fans improve the win total by 1 or 2. Michigan fans, Lion fans, etc. This is an interesting year because I think the expectations for both of these teams are very, very high. Following the 2021 season, of course. It reminds me a little bit of 2011. And if you don't remember what happened in 2011, well, quite frankly, both Michigan and Michigan State, for lack of a better term, kind of fell on their face heading into 2012. Michigan ended up finishing 8-5. Michigan State ended up finishing 7-6. I don't see a replay of that happening this year. And I'd like to get your thoughts. I'd like to get these guys' thoughts as well. We will do that when we come back. But first, somebody's going to tell us about chili peppers.
I am. Chili peppers tanning, Sean. You could use maybe a stop there.
Oh, you think?
Chili peppers
I'm
tanning.
a pale ghost.
That's it, baby. 27 locations, 2 right here on Woodward. More on the way. And if you join the Pepper Club, not only do you get a chance to go see the cleanest salons in the D, you get to hang with the Pepper Girls, and they will beat all competitors' deals by $5 or more. Hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters is chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Ciabatta, summer salad, and hand dip shakes, all at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, a chicken cordon bleu, or a sunrise ham and cheddar, all on a delicious ciabatta bread. I'll keep it light with Michigan apple, the chicken Caesar, or the Greek salad, but save room for those salads and ciabatta. And don't forget to cool off with those hand dip shakes. How about a cookies and cream, maybe a strawberry shake? I'm a chocolate shake guy myself. You heard it here first. Summer just got better at Big Boy. Woo. Sean?
Listen, no, I'm done. You guys are going to have a good rest of the show.
Are you looking at the catalog?
Oh, absolutely, I am. I'm
what
done.
Page are you on? 1048?
So, Doug on Twitter, Doug actually sent us, and I'm going to throw the phone over to you in a second, Jeff. Mm-hmm. Doug actually sent us, like, the picture of the old NFL catalog from Sears. This is unbelievable. Mass, look, I mean, Dan Fouts, Steve Grogan, Walter Payton, Richard Todd, Doug Williams, Harold Carmichael. Like, I remember these numbers. The Theismann Redskins jerseys on there.
Look at that.
Steve
How about
Bartkowski.
Jim Zorn's number 10, Seahawks?
Somebody's got a Steve Bartkowski jersey, for goodness sake.
Bro, Jim Hart with the Cardinals.
That's so good.
Chuck Foreman with the Vikings. Pat Hayden with the Rams.
Hayden.
Archie Manning, number 8.
I'm done for the show.
With the
That's
Saints.
cool. We had a good show. Yeah, Jeff, do what you want the rest of the show. Maz and I, we are done.
I always had to go to the Husky section, though, to pick up my jersey.
And then you know what?
$10.
Look at this, and so much like the 70s, because the Cowboys and the Steelers met in Super Bowl 10 and Super Bowl 13. There's a picture of little Roger Staubach throwing a pass against the Steelers.
Look at that.
My God.
And look at it. That might be the greatest day of that kid's life. Look at the look on his face.
Jesus.
His life has
Looks
been
like
all
he just lost his
downhill from
virginity.
him. Right?
My God.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love
dude,
it.
that is so cool.
I was telling you on the break, I still have my Sears bedspread, my NFL bedspread.
So do I.
You have it? You
Yes,
both do?
yep, so do I.
Now, I look on eBay.
I'll tell you
they're
how.
selling the sheets. They're selling the sheets. I'll take someone's used sheets on eBay. I'm going to probably buy them.
Do you know the only reason I had it, and I'm not trying to make everybody, make you feel down here, when my father passed away last year, I went over to his house, and I was amazed at how many things my dad saved of mine. Like I was like, maybe he did love me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, honestly, it was amazing how many little things he saved of mine. And like in his attic at his home, he saved Maz, the pillowcases and the bedspread and the curtains. I had my.
Oh,
it was,
my God.
It was so cheesy, Jeff.
No,
that's
not cheesy. It's heaven. It's heaven.
Okay, think.
He says it's heaven.
Think 1978 Gouda. And I mean, that's what these bedspreads and the curtains look like. It was so cheap. But my old man, God rest his soul, my old man saved them after so many years. And I was like, well, of course I have to take them, right? I can't. And my mom's like, well, you better take them. Don't throw them away. But it was really...
No, that's sweet.
Would you have your room decked out? Now I got to know.
I can promise you it wasn't that. I'll tell you that.
No, did you have like piston gear all over?
Yeah, I still have stuff. I like keeping jerseys. I'm a big jersey collector.
Did you hang them in your on your wall?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I still have a Billups jersey up still.
Nice.
So that's still one of my favorite players of all time. So yeah, I mean, I keep memorabilia. I keep Piston stuff, Lion stuff. It's still awesome. I mean, I don't think it's cheesy. I think it's great. Like it's just different times.
I had the garbage can, the tall garbage can, and then of course for back to school. I had the loose leaf book with the helmet on. I had a Dolphins helmet, I had a Jets helmet, had a Giants. The pencils. I had the pencil case. I mean, no wonder no girl ever paid attention.
You got the
to
bobbleheads too? I
got the bobbleheads, of course.
You know what I loved like the most is like when you went to see back in the day there were these things called grocery stores. No, but I went to the Farmer Jack near my house and they had like put in a dime and you turn the thing and the NFL helmets would come out. Did you ever see those?
No.
Like the little helmets.
Hello.
I knew the young man didn't. But like seriously, I think it was a dime. It may have been a quarter. I don't remember. And it would come in this little plastic bubble, and it was an NFL helmet with the logos on there. It was a
little piece of crap.
So my dad, seriously, my dad for like a year couldn't figure out why I always wanted to go to the grocery store with him, right? And then of course, I knew it's not because you love me and wanted to spend time with me. You little dirty SOB, you just wanted to buy you little helmets. And so then what I'd do is I'd run over to like the Maz of the neighborhood's house and I'd go, Maz, I need the Houston Oilers. And he'd go, I need the Raiders. And I'd go, well, I have 2 Raiders and I have 2 Oilers. And we'd make trades so we could complete the deal.
Unbelievably beautiful.
I could see Sean just maneuvering his way out of the walking with his dad, being like, well, I'll be right back. I'm going to go check this out.
I was a weasel.
And you're over there the entire time.
I was a weasel. And you got to remember, my dad was a cop, and my dad would go, you think you're so smart. I think you forget what I do for a living. And okay, Clouseau. Because I got away with so many little things. So that was pretty cool. Thank you for sending that. That, again, for our over 80 crowd out there, you guys can appreciate that. For the rest of you going, stop being old, man. Stop it.
Listen. I'm still a kid because at home I have all the NFL helmets, not baby ones, but the mini authentic helmets, all division lined up. And you ready? I moved them with the standings still to this day.
I love that makes me so happy.
Yes.
That brings me so much.
like that.
I do.
Do you know what I did? See, I'm sorry. I actually retired jerseys in my room.
No.
Attaboy.
I really, truly did.
What is? Okay.
Listen. I'm sorry, you guys can all laugh at me. Do you know? I remember. Do you know whose jersey was the first one I retired?
No. Who?
I loved him. Billy
Jim
Sims.
Plunkett?
Oh, Billy Sims.
When he blew out his knee and like back then, blowing out your knee, your career was over.
Yeah.
Right? If Billy's injury happened 20 years later, I'm convinced he misses the rest of the season, part of the next season, and he's back. But literally, I was when he blew his knee out, and I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. You don't know how good Billy Sims was. It's so unfortunate that his career was cut short and some guy named Barry Sanders followed him because you have no idea how good Billy Sims was.
200 yards in his rookie debut.
You have no idea how good Billy Sims was. But I was devastated because that was the first guy in my life, I kid you not, That was the first guy in my life where I sat back and I was like, the Lions have a legitimate stud. This guy is a legitimate stud. So I retired his jersey.
Good for you.
I want to ask you guys, what do your wives think? Like, because that's one thing I always think about when you're older. Like, you're shuffling the helmets.
Yeah, I have a room. I call it my office, but it's got all my stuff in it.
Memorabilia and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got all my wife's great with that. Yeah. No, and my kids same way. They bring their friends in. When the boys come into the house, they go, oh, wow. Wow, and that makes me so proud.
That would be me, Mass.
That makes me so proud.
I have not. So when COVID happened, we had just moved into our new house.
Your new mansion?
And we have a nice house, okay?
Shame on you, Michelle.
But we haven't redone the basement yet. And if you remember, like all the prices, like they were exorbitant. Remember, like wood and everything. So we haven't redone the basement yet. But I have a lot of stuff that's kind of like waiting to go up.
You should do paneling.
But I have
70s paneling.
I have some really random stuff. Like I have like weird. Like I'll give you an example. Somebody gave me not too long ago. I have Brian Hayward's hockey mask.
Oh wow!
I'm not going to tell you how I got Brian Hayward's hockey, and
But
please don't tell Brian Hayward that I have his hockey mask because he might be looking for it. But I have really random stuff that I can't wait to put up. So in that regard, it's not like the curtains and pillows and all that. I have really weird stuff like that, like old helmets and old jerseys and things like that I need to hang up.
No, yeah, there's no fault in that. I feel like that's going to be me as well. Like I'm already I'm about to be 22 in a month. I still collect things right now. So think about that. In 40 years, it's just going to add up and add up and add up.
What did you say?
Eventually,
You're going to be 22 in a month?
Yes. Yes.
My son's older than you.
Listen,
Gosh,
my magazine collection
What
from
happened?
Sports Illustrated is twice your age.
Oh my God! You still got that in the office, don't you?
I have them all saved in my garage. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they're in the
That's gonna
garage.
be me. I'm
You
like,
got to
until I
see.
do all
You
this.
can't even move these boxes, Sean. They're
Naz,
too
you know what I
freaking
did
heavy.
with my old Sports Illustrateds? I think on one hand you might find this cool, and on the other hand you might go, you idiot. I took all the covers that I liked, and that was like my wallpaper in my room as a kid.
Nice.
Like seriously.
No, that's nice.
I
That's
put
cool.
them all over my door.
I've
all
done the
over,
same.
But I ruined in the process. I ruined all the
I
old
know.
Sports Illustrated.
I got you. I've done it. I hung up the Bill Walton beating Notre Dame when they beat Bill Walton in the Walton game when they had 64 wins in a row, UCLA. I remember hanging that up when Notre Dame finally knocked off UCLA. Not that I like Notre Dame, but
Poor Jeff is stuck with two old
They
dudes.
have no idea
When we come back,
what
we'll
we're
tell
going
you about
through.
the day fire was invented and when Mr. Ford introduced that newfangled car.
What do you mean I'm fired?
But Sean, before that, I got to tell you about our friends from Cintron because the summer of Cintron is here, and now Cintron is available at Kroger. Make sure you pick up some while you're shopping right now. Get 2 Cintrons for only $4. Cintron is the new energy drink of the active lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
Would you look at this?
He's got nothing.
No, we're just Maz and I. Like when we get going, poor Jeff. I mean, come on.
Oh, no, I'm having fun.
You know what? I'm going to have my son call you and go, listen, I know my dad acts like he's 103. I apologize.
Hey, God forbid we get into Super Bowl trivia right now. God forbid.
We're sick like that.
By the way,
Maz and I just, well, do you remember the game like Joik would say a year, and I can tell you who wins a championship.
You know what's funny?
It's
me
really
and Easy were just talking about that a week ago.
Yeah,
randomly,
I
conversation.
don't know. Maz and I both have weird memories like that.
Yours is even better than mine.
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty good, but you're better.
So listen, let me throw this out there. It's great to see, and as I get older, and your daughters are going to be going through this, Maz, soon. I can't tell you how happy it makes me, and if this makes me sound like Dad and even Grandpa, no, but to watch the young guys like you guys, it's awesome. Like, it makes me really happy. It's like my son's doing it right now. He's 22. He's going to be 23 in a couple weeks, and he got a job with AMC Television, and he's working down in Savannah right now.
That's awesome.
You know, the whole Walking Dead family. It's awesome.
Isn't
I love
that
to
unreal?
see that. Because let me tell you something, okay? Like, I was a vagabond mess at your age. I was. Like, when I was doing this, that, and the other. When I hear old people, no. I was a mess. I was wondering where the next party was. I was wondering, you know what? So, like, it's awesome. It's great seeing you guys come up like this.
You know what? I've been so lucky, too, like, working here, working with the greatest mentors. That's what's helped me, and I know it sounds cheesy, and I'm giving credit, but it honestly is true. I think my growth, and I was just having this conversation with Adam, too, you just don't get this type of experience anywhere else. Being able to work with guys who have, experience, backgrounds, resumes, it's helped your boy, and I've been having a blast doing it.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you, Bunty.
You're getting better every second.
Thank you, Maz.
Especially when he's stuck with us.
Oh God!
Like he just
I can't help but get better.
Maz and I went 1978 for a good 10 minutes straight.
We killed them.
And Iafrate's like playing along with it. Good for you, right? That's outstanding. Can we talk a little bit about Michigan? Listen, I was somebody the last few years. Mm-hmm. I was the first person to point out that Michigan was living on past achievements. And I think a lot of Michigan fans, if you heard me say this a year ago, if you heard me say this 2 years ago, if you heard me say this 10 years ago, you probably got mad at me. However, that's changed in the last year. And you know why it's changed? Because you did it. You went out and you did it. You did what everybody else in the Big Ten wants to do, and quite frankly, what 122 other teams in college football want to do. You won the Big Ten, you won the Big Ten championship game, and you got to the college football playoff. And no matter what Ohio State says about what happened in your game, no matter what they say about what happened in your game, everybody was envious of you. So a guy like Maz, and trust me, Maz and I have gone through this over the years because you know what side of the fence we sit on. Maybe Maz would get mad at me 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago when I'd say, you people are living in the 1980s. And I always used to drop you people.
You people.
I did. Oh, I dropped you people. You know that. And if Ryan Armani's watching, he knows I drop you people.
He's watching.
Quit talking about what you did yesteryear. And you know what? Maybe today you'll agree with me. And you know why you'll agree with me today? Because you did it last year. And nobody can take that away from you. I got your back there. To the people out there that want to say, yeah, but this, or oh, but that, screw that. You won the Big Ten. You won the Big Ten championship. You went to the college football playoff. And Notre Dame got hammered and everybody was envious of them. Years ago, remember when they got, it was, really, they were non-competitive.
Yeah.
Michigan State got hammered. They were non-competitive. And I said the exact same thing. So I'm going to say the same thing for you, Michigan. Congratulations, you did it. So I'll be the first guy to say that you lived for a long time on previous laurels. Can we say that about a team that just won a championship a few months ago heading into this season? I'm not sure that's fair. What do you guys think?
Regarding the rankings, I disagree completely with these rankings. And listen, I respect RJ Young, but looking at this list and seeing BYU at 15 is really my issue. How is Michigan, in this point too, if you watch the video, he says, if I did 26, they'd be 26. then why the hell are they not in top 25? If they're 26, they're on the bridge of getting there. I disagree. I look at this list and I see, fine. If you think they're overrated, putting them at 6 according to other polls, that's fine. But leaving them out of the top 25, Sean, like that's to me that's inexcusable. I don't agree with that at all.
His excuses were this. Jim Harbaugh took this team last year, like you said, to the playoff. And they did a great job. Since that day, he has tried to get a job in the NFL, and that had to hurt recruiting. B, he lost 2 coordinators. C, he brings in a coordinator from Vanderbilt. Who the hell is Vanderbilt? I mean, what are you kidding? Blah, blah, blah. And you lost 3 of your greatest players off this team. So that's how R.J. Young from Fox has taken Michigan out of the top 25. In reality, the AP has them at number 7. So, and that's where they belong, at number 7.
And I get what RJ's saying. Let me talk about one of the coordinators that they lost. Josh Gaddis is a very interesting case.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Can I tell you why? A year ago, most of us were laughing at Josh Gaddis. Just a year ago.
That's a great point.
Most of us were laughing at Josh Gaddis. Oh no, here comes Michigan's speed in space. Whatever will we do? Let's be perfectly honest about that, okay? Now, they put it all together, and he deserves a pat on the back for that, okay? But really, is it that big of a loss? I got mad respect for the guy. I do. You saw the difference that he made last year.
Right.
But how much of that was they had the right pieces for what he wanted to do? And Maz, it's funny, you brought up some of his points. RJ, one of the points that he brought up that kind of made me chuckle, because I understand what he's saying, is we're not looking at this based on what happened last year. Well, to that I say bull bleep. That's what that's what every single poll is based on.
Yep.
Every single poll. I mean, we've seen it 100. Listen, I'll give you an example, okay? Michigan State had that era between 2013 and 2015. They were sick. They really were. I mean, they were sick. 2013 was one of the most dominant Big Ten champions you or I will ever see. They went 9-0. They beat everybody in the Big Ten by double digits, okay? They lost one Big Ten game in 2014. They lost one big game in 2015, okay? Anybody with half a brain in their head knew going into 2016, there were too many losses. That team lost a lot, including Connor Cook, which, oh, by the way, say what you will about what he didn't do in the NFL, the dude was a flat-out gamer and winner in college football, okay? Everybody with half a brain in their head, including Spartan fans, knew. Listen, okay, secretly, I wouldn't tell this to Maz, the Michigan fan, but I'd go, hey, Jeff, secretly, we'll be lucky to win 8 games this year, right? 8, maybe 7. And they were awful. But of course they're going to be ranked. Why? What they had done the previous 3 years. Not just the first year, but what they had done the previous 3 years. That's college football. Is he new to it?
And one thing I had a problem, too, looking at this list, Sean, is he has Michigan State at 7. Let's talk about it. Because what would you attribute a lot of their success to last year, Maz?
Beating Michigan.
Because of who?
Because of K9.
What happened to K9?
K9 got drafted.
And he has him at 7.
Yeah.
So that's my issue.
Originally, I thought he made a mistake. It was accidental that he put Michigan State and not Michigan until I went back yesterday and heard his interview. And you can hear that. Just go to Fox Sports on Twitter and look for R.J. Young's interview. 5 minutes.
Now, for the record, I think both of them are also Rams this year. I really do.
Even Michigan?
Yeah, I think. Ohio State. I think
Ohio
Ohio
State's
offense? I think Ohio State's going to. They're going to be really angry this year. Just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
Now, when I say that, listen, I think both Michigan and Michigan State are probably going to have 10 wins. Like, honestly, I think they're both going to have. I wouldn't be surprised at all to have 10 wins this year. But to your point, Jeff, hey, listen, Spartan fans. That offensive line, a little concerned. Not just losing a phenomenal running back in Kenneth Walker III, but there are some questions on the offensive line that need to be answered. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be 2012 all over again, where these guys are going to take their lumps and, it's going to be one of those years and then, oh my gosh, look what happened in 2013. But there are questions there. While I don't expect to slip to 7-6, would it surprise anybody if they were fighting to get to 10 wins? It wouldn't me.
No, not since
And that
Tucker
doesn't
got
take.
there.
Listen, Mass. Sorry to interrupt you. That doesn't take any shine off the Tuck star either.
No,
like, I'm cool
you're
with
being
it.
real.
I'm cool with it. Like, I'm cool with Tuck. How could you not be cool with Tuck? So, Michigan, you have greater expectations this year?
I do. I think they're an 11-win team.
Okay.
And my guys here that you're sitting in their seats think they're a 12-win team.
The only team
I'm just
surprised
saying.
at that.
I know you are.
I think they, in looking at that schedule, by the way, I think they'll 12-0. The only thing I disagree with is they're not beating Ohio State. I just don't think
But
so.
you know, how do you know?
Because I know.
How do you know what's going to happen to Ohio State?
Because the
during
reason
year?
why they beat Ohio State last year, nada. They're not on the team. Aiden Hutchinson, 15 pressures in a game.
I do think
you don't
there's a
have
talent.
that. That's the problem.
I think there's a talent discrepancy. I really do.
Now-
Well, you can say that about the entire Big Ten. Let's be honest, right?
But I think they'll beat State this year. I think they'll beat State. I think 11 wins. That's probably why I have them. as
Sean's
well.
got him at 10 wins. So who are the 2 losses? You got
Ohio State, and I think it was at Iowa, right?
Iowa?
That's a
'Cause
crazy place.
They go to
Especially if you play
Iowa
at night.
after their Patsy schedule. They go to Iowa.
That's a crazy. That's a crazy. That's just a crazy place.
Tough place to play.
You know what's funny? And I know Michigan fans are going to say that I'm taking a shot against you. I don't care.
That's okay.
After next year, after last year, you shouldn't care anymore. You know the thing that is funny about the way that Michigan fans acted like the last 15 years. And I said this before, and maybe you'll agree with me now. Your world was turned upside down. Your world was turned upside down. All of a sudden, your big rivals in the conference were not just better than you, not just beating you head to head, but were going and doing things that you weren't doing. Okay? I mean, let's think about it for just a second. Michigan State went 10-4 against you, going back to when Lloyd left. Ohio State went 11-2 against you. Your 2 rivals, you went 6-21 against them. Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know why I bring that up? Because it don't mean a damn thing right now. You won the Big Ten last year, and these guys and Ohio State are both looking at you and want what you have. So maybe you understand it now? Maybe I'm not a hater?
No, you are.
No, I am. No doubt about that. All right, listen, before we go to a break, one of these guys are going to tell you about our friends at Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind. Whether you're at home or on the road, their 24/7 local monitoring makes sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Get out of here.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
He's right.
All right. By the way, can I pat myself on the back? I can't believe I did it. I've gone almost 2 hours without a dip.
That a boy.
I can't believe it's been 2 hours, Sean. It's been
Honestly.
flying by.
You know what's funny? Chad,
got lost.
Tim and Jesse used to get mad at me because I used to sneak dips on the air. And I said, I'm going to come back and be a good boy. And I was a good boy.
Nice job.
Look at
Let me
you,
tell
MSU hat, no
the
dip.
camera comes. Listen, if you left the I will have a dip in my
Oh, yeah.
mouth 2 seconds after this show's done. 2 seconds. Can I tell you guys about something I watched today, and I can't wait to go home and watch the rest of it. The Manti Te'o stuff. I forget what's it called. The girlfriend was real or something.
The girlfriend, the Untold, the girlfriend who didn't exist on Netflix.
Listen, I watched part 1 today. It is so immensely screwed up. I don't even know how to explain it to you. I don't.
Wow.
And here, listen.
Refresh everyone's memory.
Okay, if you don't remember, Manti Te'o lost his grandmother, no, for real, and then his girlfriend, who wasn't real, like in a short amount of time. And I think it was right before the Michigan State game. And so the whole, not just the whole Notre Dame community, but the college football community kind of rallied around the guy. And it became like a major story. And then you couple that with Notre Dame looked like they were, here we go again.
Real.
Yeah, return to glory.
Yeah.
And they kept winning and kept winning. And the story got bigger. And I'll tell you how big it was on a personal level. I am very honored to be a Heisman Trophy voter.
Yeah.
And we have these meetings occasionally. And these guys were talking about, like, Manti Te'o as being, it's a no-brainer. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if you're including what happened off the field and the feel-good story, well, then I guess I have to give him. But if you're talking about on the field, as great as he was, and he was, there were a lot of guys that were better than him. Well, then, as this started to unravel and finally unraveled right before their bowl game, it turns out that his girlfriend, who died, wasn't real. He was catfished. And when I first heard this story, I thought to myself...
Did you even know what catfish was by then?
After I heard the story, then I kind of, that's what catfishing is.
My goodness.
I did not believe a word that came out of Manti Te'o's mouth. I didn't believe a word of it. I was like, there's no way you can be that dumb.
Yeah.
There's no possible... Wait a second. You never met your girlfriend? What do you... And you know what? After watching the first part, I believe him.
You're sold.
I don't know if he wants to hear me say I believe him, because that also means I'm admitting that he was that dumb, and he was. He was just a clueless football player guy.
He was talking literally on the phone. So he had a phone relationship with this girl who sounded really sweet. And then you get to meet her.
Are you mad at me? I mean, stuff like that. They played some of the videos. Like, there's some of the audios, and it's screwed up. And so basically, without giving too much away, even though everybody knows the story, but there's a hook in the story. I'll let you find out for yourself. This person was kind of infatuated with Manti, and it sure seems like he had a crush in a very twisted way on Manti Te'o.
So he's never seen a picture of this said person, right? Before
just the
this.
picture that they showed.
There were a couple pictures he found. They started chatting on Facebook, and then he reached out to some of her Facebook friends, and it was all a part of this like ruse on this player.
God.
Watch it.
I will tonight.
Watch it. It was the first episode was an hour and 4 minutes, and I'm not joking. It had me captivated to the point where I was like, maybe I'll call Maz and say I'm sick and I can't fill in today because I want to watch part 2 of this disaster.
How many are there?
I think there were 3.
Are they all there to watch in a row?
I'm going to find out tonight. I can tell you that much. Because my daughter, I kid you not, she goes, "What do you want for dinner? When can we watch part 2?"
Yeah.
Like, it was that. And my daughter's 17, and she was really like, "Are you kidding me?"
I'm going to have my girls watch it.
It was messed up. But give it a watch. It's Netflix. It's The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Untold, it's called. And then, of course, you got Hard Knocks on HBO as well.
He seems like such a good guy. He really does. He just seems clueless.
Yeah.
What do you think of Hard Knocks, the first episode, quickly? I know
I enjoyed it. I like Hard Knocks in general. I know it's gone downhill lately. I still watch it. I liked it. I gave it a B+. A lot of people said B+ should be an A+. Jeff, you probably gave it an A+.
Oh, yeah. You know it, Maz. Watching it, the one thing that stood out to me that I loved is the dynamic just between the coaches.
Yeah.
You saw Deuce, Aaron Glenn going at it. A lot of these guys, and that's why I always say, I think in the future, more teams are going to mimic that all, player coaches build because, listen, you saw how rowdy those guys got. It's entertaining. And I hope tonight we can catch more of Ben Johnson. I'm looking to see more.
I'll have one of the NFL Films HBO producers, directors on tomorrow. They were on last week with us. They'll be on tomorrow
Who's
as well.
in tomorrow?
Tomorrow is sticking. I thought it was Jeff.
I'm doing a lot of different things here. We'll find out.
Jeff's like, cool.
You sure you can't get out of that lunch?
I can't. I got to go to a lunch tomorrow. Sorry.
You snob.
Nah.
Got a big house.
I will be at Churchill's. I will leave my big house, and I will be going to Churchill's, and I will have a few cigars. Thank you. No, it's a pleasure. I seriously, it's a pleasure working with you and Maz, and nice
Same
to
here.
meet you, Sam and Fletch. Seriously, and most importantly, nice chatting with a lot of you guys. By the way, Maz, I gave last week a B.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
It was just okay.
I wish there was more of the player interaction.
Yes.
And I think we'll
that was
start
the
to see
only
more of
drawback that I had from last week. It was fun seeing the coaches.
Yeah.
I wanted more of the players.
I'm with you.
So it was good. I wasn't,
I want more Jeff Okuda.
Me too.
I want more Jared Goff. I want more of his girlfriend. I want more players, like you said.
Do we got to get out of here, guys?
We do.
Okay.
1 minute. Yeah, we do.
All right. Listen, thank you for checking us out. Make sure to check out Woodward Sports all day. Tomorrow, Jeff, maybe, Maz, Stick. I will be back on Thursday with Stick. For everybody, thank you for viewing us. Make sure to check out Woodward Sports all day right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
See you, everyone.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh.